This isn't just a story. It's the kind that crawls back into your head at 2 a.m. If you're ready for the truth no one expected, hit subscribe. And if something in this hits home, drop a like and tell me in the comments. Stories like this deserve to be heard. The dinner table is supposed to be about warmth and connection. That night, it became a battleground. My father, Thomas, slammed his fist on the wood so hard the forks rattled, and his voice split the air. "You're selfish, Mia. Your sister is better than you in every way." The room froze. Forks paused mid-air. Wine glasses trembled. Relatives traded quick, nervous glances. My mother, Diane, gasped softly, eyes darting between us like she wanted to rewind the moment. My cousins shifted in their chairs, unsure whether to stare or pretend nothing was happening. Chloe, my sister, leaned back with a little smirk. The glint in her eyes told on her. She'd been waiting for this, maybe even helped it along. I didn't cry, and I didn't scream. I laughed. It wasn't loud. It was sharp. "Perfect," I said, steady and cool, looking straight at Thomas. "Then I won't be paying her rent anymore." The silence that followed dropped like stone. His face went red, veins pulsing at his temples. He shoved his chair back so hard it squealed and pointed at me like I was an outsider. "Get out!" he roared. It was supposed to be my mom's birthday dinner. Instead, it became the night I finally cut the cord. When I walked in earlier, I had braced for the usual tension. But I told myself I could do it for Diane. It was her night. I wanted her to have the kind of evening where she got to be celebrated instead of managing a circus. The house smelled like roasted chicken and garlic bread, the kind of scent that used to feel like home. Diane met me at the door with a soft smile that loosened the knot in my chest for a moment. Maybe, I thought, just maybe, we could pull off a normal dinner. The table looked beautiful. Candles flickered, plates gleamed, polished silver set just so. My cousins laughed quietly. My aunts whispered little updates in each other's ears. Glasses clinked in gentle toasts. Diane glowed, soaking in attention that usually belonged to someone else. And I thought, tonight is for her, not for Chloe. But peace never lasts long in our family. It always runs on a timer. As we started to eat, Thomas did what he always does. He made the night about Chloe. His voice swelled with pride as he launched into the script everyone knew. "She's thriving at college," he said, waving his fork like a trophy. "Straight A's, handling work, doing everything right." I chewed slowly and forced a smile while his praise piled up like bricks on my chest. Chloe ducked her head as if she were humble, but her eyes shone with satisfaction. Everyone let Thomas hold court like his words were law. Diane glanced at me, apologetic, but it didn't soften the sting. I took a sip of wine and tried to let the words wash past. They didn't. They clung. She's got so much promise. She'll be someone great. Everything a father could want. It wasn't that I resented Chloe. I resented the way I disappeared when she entered the room. No matter whose occasion it was, it always turned into Chloe's show. Even on Mom's birthday. I swallowed hard and told myself I wouldn't mess up the night. But then Thomas turned those hard, expectant eyes on me and the air shifted. "Mia," he said, voice heavy with command. "Are you helping Chloe enough?" My fork stopped in midair. Helping her enough? I'd been covering her rent for months. Picking up her groceries, paying her phone bill, sending extra when she overspent. Before I could answer, Thomas turned to Chloe like a prosecutor coaxing a witness. "Does she help you?" he pressed. Chloe tilted her head, holding the pause just long enough for everyone to lean in. Then she smiled, sweet and sugar-coated. "She does," she said. "But there's something I wanted to ask." My stomach tightened. I knew what was coming. Thomas leaned forward, eager, like she was about to ask for a crown. "Go on, Chloe." She looked straight at me. "Mia, I need a car. It would make school and work so much easier." The room went still. Forks tapped plates. Eyes turned and landed on me like a spotlight. "A car?" I repeated, setting my fork down carefully. Chloe nodded, eager. "Something reliable, just enough to keep up." I turned to Thomas, disbelief etched across my face. "If she needs a car, why don't you buy it?" The air thickened like a storm. Thomas's jaw tightened. His eyes narrowed into knives. You mean to tell me you can't do that for your sister? My pulse jumped, but my voice stayed steady. I'm already paying her rent. A car is her responsibility. That's when he snapped. His voice boomed, each word sharp enough to cut. Chloe has potential. She's going places. She needs support. I've poured half my income into her. Future because she deserves it. And you? You can't do this one thing. The table sank into tense silence. My cousins stared at their plates. No one would meet my eyes. Chloe feigned embarrassment, but the smug curl of her mouth betrayed her. And then Thomas dropped the final blow. She's better than you, Mia. Always has been. Always will be. Laugh slipped out of me, cold and clean. Perfect, I said, meeting his glare. Then she can pay her own rent. His face flushed a deeper red. He scraped his chair back with a screech. Get out! He yelled, pointing to the door like I was trespassing. If you're so selfish, you don't belong here. The room caved in on itself. Diane's hand flew to her mouth, eyes shining, with tears. My cousins whispered. My aunts looked away. Chloe kept her head down. Her silence said everything. She wanted this. I stood, slowing my breath and steadying my hands. Happy birthday, Mom, I said softly. The only gift I could give her in that moment. Then I turned and went upstairs to my old room, frozen in time since the day I moved out. I shut the door and leaned against it. Downstairs, muffled voices collided. Diane pleading, Thomas raging, Chloe staying quiet as a blade. I sat on the edge of my childhood bed and scrolled aimlessly as anger burned steady under my skin. This wasn't new. Thomas had cut me down before. He'd always put Chloe above me. But doing it on Mom's birthday in front of everyone, that was the last cut. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to keep being the wallet, the scapegoat, the afterthought. If he wanted me gone, I would. Go, but not on his terms. Downstairs, the chatter limped back to life, thin, forced like laughter in an empty hallway. Forks scraped, glasses clinked. Everyone pretended a bomb hadn't just gone off. That was the family talent. Bury the wreckage, polish the surface, put Chloe back under the lights. I was done reading my lines. I opened my banking app with shaking hands, steady enough to type. There it was, the joint account Thomas pushed me to open years ago. He called it a family safety net. In reality, it became Chloe's lifeline, where my paycheck went to cover her wants and needs. The number on the screen made my stomach twist. Thousands were gone. I scrolled through the ledger. Each line was a blade. Cash withdrawals, transfers, labeled tuition, bills I never approved. Not just Chloe. Thomas had been dipping in too, bleeding me out and then calling me selfish. The anger wasn't fire this time. It was ice, sharp and controlled. I moved what was left to my personal account, hit close account, and felt the iron band around my chest loosen. The chain snapped. Chloe's next rent? Not my problem. Let Thomas play hero. By morning, the fallout hit. My phone vibrated nonstop. Chloe's name flashed first. Against my better judgment, I answered. Mia, what is wrong with you? She screamed. You drained the account. I can't pay rent. I leaned back, calm as glass. Dad says you're better than me. Prove it. Figure it out. You're ruining my life, she yelled. No, I said. You and Dad did that. I hung up. Her fury hummed in my ear like static. A knock came not long after. Diane stood at the door in a robe, her face lined with lost sleep. Can we talk? She asked. I let her in. She sat on the bed and rubbed her temples. Your father didn't mean it, she whispered. He just gets passionate about Chloe. I laughed, short, bitter. Passionate? He humiliated me in front of everyone and told me to leave. Her shoulders drooped. You know how he is. Just fix this, Mia. For the family. Fix what? I snapped. I've been paying Chloe's bills for years. I'm done. Panic flickered in her eyes. Mia, don't do anything rash. I didn't answer. She left with a soft click and the room fell silent again. The rest of the day was a flood of messages from Chloe. Mia, I need rent. What is wrong with you? Answer me. I finally typed, ask Dad. He's got you. Then I muted her number. By evening, it was Thomas. His voice came clipped, cold. You closed the account. It was my money, I said. You and Chloe drained me long enough. You're leaving your sister homeless, he shot back. She's better than me, remember? I said. She'll survive. Silence. Then the line went dead. But I knew him. He wouldn't let it rest. 2 mornings later, I pulled into their driveway and stopped cold. My old sedan, the one I bought at 17 with tips and saved paychecks, sat with a neon for sale sign slapped to the windshield. My first freedom turned into a pawn. I stormed inside. Diane nearly dropped a dish. Where's Dad? I asked. Her eyes flickered. He's out. Why? I pointed toward the driveway. He's selling my car. She wrung her hands. You don't drive it. He thought. It's mine, I snapped. Not his. I marched out, ripped the sign off, and drove the car straight to my apartment. The engine rattled like it might fall apart, but to me, it roared like victory. Minutes later, Thomas called. His voice was smug. Changed your mind? You don't get to sell what's mine, I said. He chuckled low. You left it here. That makes it mine to deal with. You're done in this family, Mia. Fine, I said, voice like ice. Let's see how you manage Chloe without me. I hung up, anger simmering, resolve setting like stone. That night, I combed through years of joint statements. The numbers left no doubt. He hadn't only helped Chloe, he'd siphoned thousands for tuition, utilities, and cash in his own pocket. I wasn't a support system. I was prey. The last betrayal came days later. I unlocked my apartment and froze. The place was stripped, TV gone, laptop missing, drawers dumped, my watches gone, no broken locks, no forced entry. 2 people had keys, Thomas and Diane. Heat burned my skin. I dialed his number. Where's my stuff? What are you talking about? He said, almost amused. You took it. For Chloe, I said. He didn't even bother to deny it. Family comes first. You stole from me, I said. You'd understand if you weren't so selfish, he replied. I steadied my voice. You just made a mistake, Dad. And I hung up. The next morning, I sat across from a lawyer and laid out everything. Photos, receipts, bank records, proof the missing items were mine. She tapped her pen, eyes sharp. This is theft. You can press charges. At least threaten to. He'll fold. For the first time in years, the balance shifted back to me. That night, I called Thomas and hit record. I talked to a lawyer, I said. Return my things or I file charges. He laughed, thin. You'd put your own father in jail? Try me, I said. I have your admission on tape. Silence stretched. Then his voice cracked. Fine, I'll get the money. 3 days later, my account pinged. Every cent wired back. No apology, no excuses. I'd won, but I was done. I broke my lease, took a new job out of state, and packed the little I had left. The new place was small and quiet. No guilt trips, no surprise knocks. Just peace. Months slid by like fresh air. Then Diane's number flashed. Mia, she said. It's Chloe. She's pregnant. The father left. She has nothing. We need you. I leaned back and almost laughed. She's better than me, right? She'll figure it out. I hung up. Weeks. Later, Chloe emailed. I'm sorry, Mia. Single motherhood is harder than I thought. Dad is broke. Please help. I marked it as spam and closed the laptop. They drained me. They mocked me. They stole from me. Now they can learn to survive without me. I exhaled and felt lighter than I ever have. I wasn't Mia the wallet. Mia, the invisible daughter. I was Mia, untethered, whole, free. Tell me, was I wrong to cut them off and fight back? Or was this the only way to get my life back? And if this story hit deep, the next one will leave you speechless. Subscribe now. so you don't miss it. And if this made you feel something, hit like and share it with someone who needs to hear it too.